Ah yes, the Alien franchise. After Ridley's deeply mixed bag prequels Prometheus and Alien Covenant, with a planned sequel to Covenant being shelved, I wasn't really sure where the franchise was going to go next. I certainly enjoyed Alien Romulus, but at the end it left me seriously contemplating what next. Alien Romulus has cleaned up big at the box office, projected to have earned a cumulative worldwide box office gross of $314.4 million by the end of its fourth weekend in theatres. This makes it the second Alien movie to ever pass the $300 million milestone, after Prometheus did so during its original theatrical run in 2012. Romulus proves that a back-to-basics plot can work, and I enjoyed it for its atmosphere and production design. I also quite liked the lead two characters, Rain and Andy, and I'm invested enough into seeing them return in the sequel. I was annoyed at Elizabeth Shaw being written out of Covenant off-screen, so keeping some continuity would be nice for future instalments. But what about the actual plot? We have seen countless variations of space exploration, spaceships, xenomorphs being burnt or shredded out into space via airlocks. Now, Fede Álvarez is clearly a massive fan of Alien and tried his utmost in Romulus to add some innovation with the facehugger temperature scene and the gravity pulses dodging the xenomorph blood. The ending, however, was a confusing mashup of Prometheus and Alien Resurrection, and as the film ended, I wondered, what do I actually want to see next, assuming there's another film? Now, Alien and Aliens, to me, are similar in a way that Terminator and Terminator 2 are, with the first films of both franchises being low-budget horrors and the second being big-budget versions pushing the story into new directions. These films are complete, and it's the only financial drive that keeps executives revisiting and rehashing these stories over and over. I was intrigued by Neil Blomkamp's shelved Alien project that brought back Hicks and Ripley, and thought it was a real shame that it was cancelled. Alien was a haunted house movie in space that broke new ground at the time. That moment in cinema history has gone, and it will never be claimed again. Perhaps a bit controversial, but for me, when there is the inevitable Alien Romulus sequel, I'm actually done with it being set in space. You can see they tried to vary it with the asteroid belt outside and the neat set pieces, but for me, the space setting is now far too stale. I really enjoyed the Alien Isolation game featuring Ripley's daughter, and it surprises me that the main film series hasn't used this sort of family connection. In my opinion, across most of the Alien films, what has been said but never actually explored is what if the xenomorphs did actually get to Earth? I seem to remember it being a concern of Ripley and other characters at times throughout the films. So let's up the budget and see the carnage that would unfold. It would be fascinating to revisit Earth in the future to see the terrible state it's in. I would do it like 28 Days Later, but with a city overrun with them. But a bit like Robocop, let's see the city, let's see the politics, let's see Weyland-Yutani in action in more detail. Now, I thought this was a pretty genius idea until I actually heard of Alien Earth, which is an upcoming limited series on Hulu. The show's premise reads, when a mysterious space vessel crash lands on Earth, a young woman and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a fateful discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's greatest threat, with Timothy Olyphant playing a synthetic mentor. It sounds interesting, as long as it isn't what would be an amazing pressurised 2-hour movie stretched out and watered down into story of the week urban drama with only a little bit of alien activity. According to details about the upcoming series, the show is set to take place roughly 30 years before the events of the original movie. This places the Alien Earth story in approximately the year 2092, which overlaps with the events of the prequel film Prometheus, which is set in 2093, which is an interesting, and I can't believe it's not a deliberate choice. But this would kind of negate Ripley's later fears, though, if aliens have already been on Earth. But I'm sure some talented writer will sort this all out for one grand purpose, or not. Anyway, let's take a quick look at some other potential sequel ideas that I've randomly sketched together with an overall theme. So, Earth Infestation. Set on Earth in the near future, Weyland-Yutani successfully transport a xenomorph queen or a facehugger egg to a secure lab under the guise of developing bioweapons, as they've always talked about. However, during an experiment, maybe the queen breaks free and a catastrophic containment breach occurs. The xenomorphs then rapidly spread through the facility and then into a densely populated urban area, which would be sick. The government enforces a military quarantine, but the aliens adapt too quickly. A small group of survivors, including a scientist who understands the aliens' biology, and a hardened ex-marine, of course, must navigate the infested city to retrieve vital research that could stop the spread before it's too late. Something like this, in my opinion, would be really cool, and for me the most promising avenue left to explore that would actually be doing something new that we haven't actually seen. Or something maybe like, I know, the engineers return. So Earth comes under threat when a group of engineers, angered by humanity's defiance and their continuing experimentation with the xenomorphs, decides to take direct action. They send an armada to clean Earth of the human race. Weyland-Yutani attempts to negotiate with the engineers by offering them captured xenomorphs, but the plan backfires when the engineers unleash the aliens as a test of humanity's resilience, perhaps. The story follows a group of survivors who must join forces with a rogue engineer who disagrees with the genocide and wants to stop the destruction of Earth. This would actually intertwine Prometheus and Alien in quite a spectacular showdown. Or you could have something like Rebellion of the Synthetics, following David's experiments with the Xenomorphs plotline, but using a different synthetic. They begin to question their purpose and loyalty to humanity. A faction of rogue synthetics inspired by David's approach, or if we're not using David, somebody else, decide to ally themselves with the Xenomorphs, seeing them as the next step in evolution. They believe humanity's time is over and it's their duty to bring about a new era. A civil war breaks out between humans and their synthetic creations, with the Xenomorphs being used as a biological weapon by the rogue synthetics to exterminate the human race. Maybe. Or return to LV-426. So, maybe the colony collapses. After the events of Aliens, a new Weyland-Yutani funded colony has been established to research the Xenomorphs under strict quarantine protocols. However, a power failure caused by a violent storm knocks out the containment systems, releasing the dormant Xenomorphs. The colonists are unprepared for the outbreak, and chaos ensues as they try to escape both the aliens and the harsh environment of the moon. Meanwhile, a hidden group of corporate saboteurs are revealed to be manipulating events to smuggle out a live xenomorph for profit, further complicating the situation, for example. Or, my final idea, and this could be really off the wall, could be more like a low-budget remote thriller set years after Prometheus and Covenant. A Weyland-Yutani ship lands on Earth with samples of the black goo pathogen for study. During transport, the pathogen leaks, infecting a small coastal town. The black goo begins mutating the local fauna and flora, creating nightmarish hybrid creatures. The pathogen also has a delayed effect on the human population, who begin to mutate in a horrific way. A small group of survivors must uncover the secrets of the engineers to find a cure, all while avoiding the transformed townspeople and mutated wildlife. These are all unofficial ideas I've just come up with, and plots that build on the atmosphere, themes and suspenseful horror that the Alien franchise is known for, but also expanding and fleshing out the universe and exploring some new possibilities as well. I think overall one can see that we don't necessarily need a deep space setting. There are plenty of other environments and characters and ideas to explore in a world as rich as Alien, and I am cautiously optimistic about the Alien Earth TV show. Time will tell. Thanks for watching. If you liked or learned anything in this video, please like and subscribe and let me know your thoughts on the inevitable future of the Alien franchise. What do you really want to see next?